to just be yourself. If people don't like it, if you're being yourself, fuck them.
Big Los,
Hollywood Kev,
and welcome to another episode of the Noize. Kev, give Yachty bars right now, son.
Who?
Yachty.
I wouldn't even waste my time dissing.
Give him bars, kid.
I don't like your hair, and you look like shit.
You could at least like rhyme. You could have been like, I don't like your hair.
I'm not a rapper, bruh.
You know I
beat
don't
the shit
care.
out of him, though.
I don't even play fair. Cross me if you dare. I come up after Yachty, hit him with the shotty, explode his whole body. Now this nigga like, sorry.
That sounded like something they say on 8 Mile.
Exactly. And you know you gotta make like the whole screw face and everything. You gotta
lift your hands.
You gotta
up.
Meek Mill lip it. You gotta give all
man.
the
Nah, man. I wouldn't diss that, man. I'd beat him up, though.
You just fight him?
Yeah.
Why the violence though? Why we always gotta go straight to violence?
Hey, fuck it.
It is not the answer.
Thug life.
Ride or die, B. Again, welcome to another episode of The Noize.
Yeah.
You know, we're actually recording this on a very privileged day.
Privilege.
Even though, yeah.
Black privilege, white privilege.
We're gonna say black privilege in this.
Oh, it's lit.
In this sense. You know what I'm saying? We get a little bit here and there.
Okay.
But
and Black History Month?
And it's Black History Month.
Nigga, we
feel
made
me? But we're recording this on a day that social media exploded again.
Yeah.
Listening to this on Oscar Sunday, so you already know what happened on Saturday. But before we get to that, how was your week?
My week was eventful.
Yeah, I heard you on injury reserves again.
Well, yeah and no. The doctors is trying to get me, man. I don't know. It's conflicting. I went to one doctor. Mm-hmm. They're saying that the screws from my previous surgery may be broken. Mm-hmm. Went to another doctor. They're saying that they don't see any broken, but they're swelling. So it's like you don't see nothing broken, but something is causing inflammation. That makes no sense.
Right.
All in all, I got to follow up my surgeon, see what's going on. Hopefully, no third surgery. You know, I shouldn't be 28 going on the third surgery. Mm-hmm. But we'll see what happens. Either way, something's going to have to change. The state going to end up paying me, goddammit.
I was about to say, like, so, I mean, we got bread coming? What's good?
Something's going to have to happen. But outside of that, my week was chill. Well, I had no choice but to be chill. Couldn't really do much.
Just wasn't moving.
Yeah, so all that, I'm good for the most part. And yourself? How you feeling?
The week was cool. I was low-key battling a cold. Mm-hmm. And, like, it was to the point where I felt like I was just barely getting one up on it, but it was trying to catch me while I was asleep.
Hit you with a haymaker?
You know what I'm saying? And you know, when you sleep and the only thing you do is just cough and just hold your pillow, like, those are the only two options I had. But eventually I ended up knocking that motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? I won. And that's why I'm here with the smooth, sultry sounds of Big Los. Still on the Noize. Because otherwise I'd have been sounding like a straight crackhead for real. Other than that, man, I worked a lot.
Okay.
Actually, today, I just came from Truth, also known as Whitney Taylor and her other business. I just came from one of her group's travel agency's presentation. Shout out to Truth. Shout out to Evolution Travel. Make sure y'all holla at them, man. They got some amazing deals, bro.
Really?
Like, yeah, when I was sitting in there and some of the trips they were actually pulling up, like they're saving cats $200-$300 in, you know what I'm saying, in actual travel.
Oh, that's
and
dope.
Then the people that actually wants to get down with the company, the commission is ridiculous, bro. Definitely fuck with Evolution Travel.
Gotcha.
Like they were putting in work, and I really liked the presentation. It was dope.
That was good. Shout out to Whitney.
It made the day longer because another thing y'all probably caught on Saturday, Jay and Kay, they did their Oscars prediction show. Very interesting predictions.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very interesting ones.
Okay.
Some definitely sound like, okay, that's going to be it. Others, it's like, all right, I think we're reaching for the culture at this point. We're just trying to see our people win. And I do want to see our people win. So I understand why it happened. Other than that, yeah, it's just been a long day.
Okay.
Very, very long day on top of the long week.
On top of the long week. Be like that sometimes, right?
It is, man. It's a part of life.
Yeah.
Once we get past that, you live, you learn, then you get loves. You know, this is so random just because it came to my mind, but I felt like that's like explaining like you live, you learn, then get loves. It's like you know what I'm saying, you go out there, you hitting everything without a condom, and then boom, you got a kid. So it's like you live, you learn, and you get love. Like I feel like that was clever. Like if I'm wrong, shout out to Loves. Let me know if I'm wrong. Like if that wasn't what y'all were going for.
This is what y'all wasn't going for. Let me know.
Exactly. That was just random ass conversation. So one interesting thing that happened this week is a question that I posed to my social media friends and my actual friends. You know, wasn't anything meant to be, you know, filled with malice. It wasn't attacking anybody. It wasn't targeting anybody. You know, nothing of the sort. But I asked people that don't listen, that don't share the material, that aren't interested in what we're doing. I asked them basically why. I did it with the idea to get feedback. Okay. What is it that people want to see? What is it that we're not doing that's not catching your interest? You know, it was just, you know, constructive criticism.
Yeah,
like,
I've seen exactly what you're talking about.
No one should be afraid to get constructive criticism because then you stay stagnant. And
Absolutely.
And if we suck, let me know if we suck. You know what I mean? And I pissed everybody off, apparently. Like, it was a lot of people that took it personal. Like, I was targeting them, and I felt like I started off by saying, you know, this isn't me bitching or complaining. This is me trying to get feedback and, you know, constructive criticism. And a while ago, I posted something on the B page at the end of the year, actually, trying to get feedback going into the following year so we know what is it people want to see.
Right, this is the first time I think I did see your post. You know what I mean? I understood completely, obviously, because I rock with beat. But I think maybe for those other people, the way that they read it probably is what pissed them off. I think maybe if you would just say, hey, give me some feedback. What are we not doing correctly? Like, worded it a little bit differently. Maybe you wouldn't have got so much backlash. But me personally, I don't think you worded it wrong because I understood exactly what you were saying, exactly where it was coming from.
And honestly, while I was writing it, I considered doing that. But one, I wanted to give context behind what I was saying.
Right. Okay.
You know, I wanted to, and some of the things I also said in it was talking about the different people that I've supported. And that wasn't me trying to brag, boast, or be like, you know, why aren't y'all doing this for me? That was like, okay, this is my mindset towards something. I don't expect anyone to have this exact same mindset, but this is just how this is how it is to me.
Right.
I do it because of somebody I know. Now, if you're going to support something for the entertainment factor or something that you're interested in, let me know what you're interested in.
Right.
And we'll definitely try to go from there. But it was taken wrong. You know what's funny? Out of everybody that hit me up saying that they took it personally, only one person actually gave me what I was looking for. Like, literally only one person. The funny thing is, what she mentioned is what we already got coming up.
Got you.
So
yeah, a lot of stuff I've been getting back to is the stuff we have already coming up.
Right.
So
you know, so for that little bit of feedback, I definitely appreciate it. And I know that what we got coming up is what some people are looking for. Not saying everybody, but we'll see when we drop it. You know, that's the only thing we could really do is just put it out there and see what happens from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people need to realize that we aren't here to piss anybody off intentionally. You'll know when we're trying to intentionally piss you off. Trust me.
Yeah, we actually put it out there.
You're right, but for the most part, when it comes down to beat, we want to know what we can do to make your listening experience better.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Basically,
a
closed mouth don't get fed.
Yeah, your entertainment experience in general. We just we want to make sure we're aboard. You know what I'm saying, actually giving y'all what y'all looking for.
Exactly. We don't want to put out content that you like, nah, I'm not rocking with it. You know what I mean? Because that trickles out not only to listens or views, but shares as well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So we want to make sure that we're giving you exactly what you like and what you feel other people might be interested in so we can keep it coming. So don't take it personal. You know what I mean? We trying to please everybody and ourselves at the same time.
Exactly.
So
for everybody that was mad at me, I'm not mad at y'all. Like, I'm not targeting anybody. If I could see who are all the people that listen to it, I would personally thank you all. But of course, if you guys do listen every week, y'all know I thank y'all on every show.
Every show.
And trust me.
And we'll continue to do so.
And we'll continue to do so. So look forward to that. Spoiler alert. It's coming. Outside of that, getting back to Kev's favorite thing, saying goodbye to all the handshakes and the high fives and the best friends and all that shit in hip hop. As I'm sure y'all have already seen today, Remy Ma has verbally attacked Nicki Minaj.
And you know the best thing that I like about that is she came out of the gate saying she was talking about Nicki Minaj.
Oh, yeah.
There was no half stepping. Is she talking? Nah. Fuck Nicki Minaj right out the gate. Yeah, I love it.
She went in. She definitely went to work. Sheether. That is an interesting name.
It is. It is.
And I actually just read about this earlier today. Apparently their beef, it goes back. It goes back to when Remy was in jail.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Remy felt like Nicki stole the "all these bitches is my son" line. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure Remy, because that does sound like something Remy would also say.
That does sound like something Remy
that sounds like something that Remy also said. I don't know. That could just be a Brooklyn thing, honestly.
It might be.
No, ain't Remy from Bronx?
That's what I say. Remy from the Bronx.
It
could be a New York thing.
Yeah, just a New York thing. We'll just leave it at that. So she felt like she stole that line from her, and because she was in prison, of course, she wasn't able to retaliate in a sense. So since she's been out, and I've seen it too, I kind of felt like Remy's been taking just little, kind of almost like poking her in the shoulder a little bit with bars here and there. There's been a bunch of shit that's been said, and I'm just listening like, is that at Nicki?
Yeah,
I could possibly be at Nicki.
I get what you're saying with that, but at the same time, I feel like she's just trying to reinsert herself back to where she was. Because you realize when she went to jail, she was right about to hit that cuss for women MCs to blow, and then she got locked up. So part of it, I do agree with you. You know what I mean? She's poking her like, hey.
Just letting you know.
Right. And then the rest, I feel like she's like, all right, I got to get back in my lane.
Right.
Papoose is waiting for somebody to say something out of line. That man got like 300 bars written right now. Wait.
In a thick-ass composition book at that. Like, come on now. I got somebody on each page. It's alphabetized. Come and see me.
But yeah, I love it.
It's been a bunch of little pop shots. Mm-hmm. Of course, Gucci's collaborating with everybody since he's been out.
Right.
Like, legitimately everybody. Yeah. One of the people, of course, is Nicki. Mm-hmm. The track they just put out, Make Love.
I didn't listen to the track, but I did see where Remy's diss is stimulating from.
Oh,
I've seen the lyrics.
I listened to the track for the first time today because I just wasn't interested.
Exactly.
But I listened to the track today, and everything that was in that clearly at Remy. It got, super evident towards the end, making mentions about what it takes to be the queen in the game,
right.
And then she took shots at Remy's album sales and everything like that, and for this to be, I'll say the same thing I said when it came to Drake. For this to be bars to initiate everything, or to kind of test the waters to see where your head is at, I wasn't impressed because I've heard Nicki come harder than this. Mm-hmm. I've heard Nicki destroy Kim on a couple of verses. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just kind of felt like she was kind of taking the Drake approach with it.
Absolutely. Her Nicki and Meek right now are sharing L's for this beef shit. Specifically bars right now.
It's specifically bars.
Yeah, I think they're sharing L's.
It's too early to tell. Now before we get to the conversation, let's just let's wrap up the full-fledged story. So now we get to what's going on today, Saturday. Remy drops Sheether over Nas Ether beat.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. I honestly didn't feel like she started spitting hard ass bars until like halfway through, and then it started getting this is where the gloves were off. You know what I mean?
Nicki has done things that I was very Meek like. She went on social media. She after the diss drop, she posted up album sales. She took a shot at Trey Songz, but didn't say anything to Remy. You know what I mean? Like, she's adding other people, but not bringing Remy into this equation.
I've been seeing that. Why is that? Did Trey say something?
No, Trey didn't say anything, but when Remy was going up, she was like, you fuck, telling him.
Oh, yeah.
And Trey, he didn't deny it, but he didn't confirm it either.
Right.
And then he didn't help when he was like, he talking to Nicki, he was like, I didn't do anything, you know what I mean? He said, I've been nothing but respectful in a sense. You know what I mean? You don't be mad at me, be mad at Remy. So he kind of like put it out there as well. Like, hey, don't get mad at me, get mad at her. I didn't do nothing.
She gave you the bars.
I've been chilling, you know
right.
what I mean? So, and it's just making Nicki look bad. I would love to see bars come from this, but it'd be weird. And it is funny to me how social media picks and chooses who they want to defend.
Oh, yeah.
Because when it comes to this particular battle, they are saying, oh, your celebrity don't mean shit. You know what I mean? When it's bars, it's bars. But when Joe and Drake was doing this,
that was going to be one of my points.
Complete opposite.
Completely different. But you know what, though? Well, first of all, finish your point.
No, I'm just saying it's just how social media picks and chooses who they want to rock with. And then I seen some dumb shit, bro. And this is, I can tell this kid had to be born after 98 because he was a fucking moron.
That's very specific.
Talking about, I don't even know who Remy is. She need to leave Nicki alone or whatever the case is. Remy just got popping. Like, bro, was you dropped on your head?
Had to be.
Like, then I realized you probably born after 98, so you 17, 18 right now. You don't know no better. You don't know no better. So, I seen also today somebody said Rod Digger was trash at one point. I'm like, oh, you're stupid.
Who randomly brought Rod Digger?
No, somebody, because Rod Digger was like, put the little not heart, but the little eyes, emoji eyes, like, oh shit, something popping off. And somebody kind of like, yo, this couldn't be you because you would have bodied Nicki or whatever the case was. And the other person was like, you're trash, you're nobody. I'm like, y'all don't know hip hop, but I digress.
To your point, honestly, I see this kind of going the exact same way as Drake and Meek. Only reason I see that is because we've come to a place in hip hop, unfortunately, where status means more than lyrical ability.
You can blame social media for that.
Oh yeah, most certainly. And one thing I really want to be understood, and we're probably going to debate this, who knows. Lyrically, Remy's a problem, but so is Nicki. Yeah. If Nicki can tap into that early Nicki going into the bar for bar game, it's going to be a great fucking battle.
Number one, I don't see her tapping into that. Number two, a lot of that old Nicki Minaj she didn't write.
Allegedly.
ain't no goddamn allegedly, bro. Out of the 3 faces, well, the 2.5 of Young Money, Cash Money, Wayne is probably the only one that wrote majority of his stuff, even though J.R. Writer probably has something to do with a lot of that too.
Well,
but came out, Drake ain't writing shit.
And that's another thing though, like the reason I find it so hard to believe that she's not legitimately writing her shit, we haven't seen evidence of it. It's been all hearsay from a lot of motherfuckers that were upset.
The Safari thing was evidence. They both... I think that was more evident than anything that he was writing a lot of her shit. It's very weird that a man is writing female lyrics. It's not. Really.
To me, it is. If that's the case, it's brilliant.
To me, it is. It's a little bit weird because I don't, when it comes to female rappers, I don't identify with them on that level. So it'd be hard for me to write for a woman.
And keep going.
No, I'm saying, but that's a different story. But no, I think a lot of her stuff she has written, but I don't. And then when you look at her. The way her albums are, you got to remember at one point she was on that pop shit, that Barbie retarded shit, and then it kind of switched up a little bit. You know what I mean? And I think that pop Barbie shit she probably definitely wrote. And then once the bars started getting a little bit more intelligent, a little bit more complex, I think somebody else has something to do with that.
But even with the bars getting more intelligent and complex, and everybody's tying Lil Wayne into writing the bars, Lil Wayne's not writing no intelligent, no complex shit. He's giving you tricky shit.
Yeah, he's giving tricky shit, a couple of metaphors.
It's a couple of metaphors. That's what I'm saying. So if you want to say, and not just you, that's anybody that thinks she has a ghostwriter. If anybody wants to say that somebody's writing for Nicki right now, it would make more sense if somebody said that somebody's writing for Nicki when she was on that, Barbie shit.
No, I don't think nobody's
that
writing
would make
for her
more
right
sense
now.
if Wayne was writing her bars. To me, that would make more sense.
No, I think her Barbie shit she was writing. I think when it got more complex, she had something to do with it, but not completely. And I think right now she's writing her own shit because her shit now is terrible. The little bars or the little verses she's been putting out has been real. What do they call it? ABC rap. Like it's been real. It's been bad.
The verse she had on Gucci's song that was very ABC.
You know what I mean?
But as far as like new shit, I haven't been hearing.
Yeah, I haven't been hearing. But I'm talking about the latest features.
Right.
You can tell whatever she had before is not there now. Whatever that may be, it's not there.
I don't know. I guess I got to go back and listen. But and I'm not here to defend anybody. It's almost in the same context as Beyonce. I don't listen. Often,
judge, yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't listen also, so I can't really say what is and what isn't. But I can only respect what somebody's doing. And I guess going back to the comment I made earlier about status, I think it's going to end the exact same way, whether or not Nicki gives her body bars or not, because it seems like the average hip hop fan today only gives a fuck about what you're doing in your sales, what you're doing in touring, what are you doing in features. The only thing they really give a fuck about is what kind of moves you're making, not exactly what you're spitting.
Yeah, in a sense, I think right now more than sales than anything, and I'm about to use this analogy, and this is not taking shots at you for being a Lakers fan. It's not. But I'm saying people, when it comes to rap, they do, when they don't have an argument, and the person that, like, for instance, Nicki and Remy, of course Nicki has sold more. They're doing what Lakers fans say, well, we got all these championships. Well, Nicki is selling this. You know what I mean? They use it in that same contrast when they don't have a legitimate argument, is what I'm saying.
That's shots, sir.
No, that's not shots. I'm just saying of what's happening.
I've never used
No,
that.
not you. But I'm saying other fans that I've talked to, Laker fans, they'd be like, "Hey, well, we got X amount of trophies." I'm like, "Bro, you weren't alive for half of them." But okay, but no, I think that's what
So
a
many
lot
shots.
of I think
So
that's
many
what a lot
shots.
of the fans on social media are doing. They're like, "Well, Nicki sold this." When we're in an age where sales really don't mean shit.
Which is why I think status ultimately wins the battle nowadays. Because now that we're in an age that sales don't mean shit, you got artists that are going platinum off of their popularity. You got artists that are going platinum off of their brand, not necessarily their music.
Yeah, I
You know,
agree. I knew that was relevant when we hear Kevin Hart and Trey Songz on the radio.
Exactly. Kevin Hart had a whole goddamn mixtape. But, in this battle, it's going to come down to status. Now, what I want to happen is like I said earlier, I want Nicki to come back and actually give bars because, for example, and I say this to everybody, you got a track with Jay and Kanye. If you want to throw Ross in there, sure. But you got a track with Jay and Kanye, and Nicki ate both of them on a song that she was the feature in.
Which song is this?
Monster.
Okay.
To know that she has that ability in her, and then I've heard other shit. The shit that she did to Biggie's Warning, I thought that was one of the dopest covers I've heard. You know what I mean? Like, I really fuck with a lot of her mixtape shit. Her album shit, not so much. But even on the album side, when it comes down to the class, I guess that cats are in, the tier that they're in hip hop, I can never shit on her hustle because she's making bread.
Yeah, I can't shit on her hustle
like she really is on a different level, and she really has put in a shit ton of work. But I have seen her lyrically decline. I want this to bring her back to that place.
Yeah,
I mean?
I'm all for it. Put that shit on wax, get it out there. I'm all for it. Absolutely. I just think when it comes to this, I want a response, but I think she's gonna. I think she's gonna feel like she's too big to respond, and that's what pisses me off.
She's gonna feel exactly how Drake felt, that she's too big to respond. But she's also gonna feel how Drake felt is she has to respond.
Yeah, I think she has
especially
to.
because of how big this is right now.
Right.
Like, dude, number one on social media right now is this situation.
Yeah, it's been going on all day.
She has no, bro. There's fucking obituaries made of Nicki Minaj that's traveling around the internet
all
right
sorts
now.
of stuff.
The whole nine. She legitimately has no choice but to respond. And if she doesn't respond, just to shut up motherfuckers talking about it. If she doesn't respond, just to shut up, Remy Ma. She's responding in defense of her followers.
Yeah,
because they're getting fucking railroaded right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I think she's probably gonna feel like she's too big, but she has to. I think she has to.
This is legitimately a sink or swim situation. Like, Drake could have ignored Meek and it'd have been straight because people have been taking Meek as a joke for years. People have been ready for Remy Ma to come home.
Yeah,
and now that she's home and she's working, cats are really behind her. And the fact she's getting that ratchet crowd from being on Love and Hip Hop right now, motherfuckers are behind her. Nicki is in a position that she absolutely has to respond.
Yeah.
She has to come hard. She has to do something that's going to make motherfuckers be like, ooh.
Yeah, if she comes out soft, then it's gonna go bad. Because once she responds, Remy is definitely going to have something to say about that.
And that's what I'm saying, dude. I'm more than positive, especially because her and Drake are back cool again. If they ever fell off. But at least we start seeing them again at least. But especially because her and Drake are back cool again, she knows the art of war at this point. At this point, that verse that she dropped was the exact same thing as Charged Up. Poking at you, okay, let me see where your head is at. When Remy responded 48 hours later, now she knows where her head is at. So now it's like, okay, I need to be just as ready. I don't think Nicki dropped that verse without any kind of preparation.
I would hope she wouldn't have done that.
That would be stupid. That would be retarded.
I would hope she wouldn't have done that. Unless she's going to come out and try to, I wasn't talking about it, unless she's going to go that route. I wasn't talking about you from the jump, you know what I mean? And try to diffuse it that way. But I hope she come out ready for war. I hope she came out with like, okay, I need to get to work.
Exactly. Like this probably shouldn't be top tier, but it for sure needs to be in her top 5 things to do this following week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Her reminder is
exactly
got to be going off.
Outside of Remy potentially losing just off of stats. On the flip side, where I'm kind of torn in this situation is I almost feel like Remy put all of her ducks in the row.
You feel like she just laid it all out there, and because her next response ain't gonna live up to it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Because we had this conversation outside before we came in and started recording. The first half of that song was That song didn't start getting real like, ooh, shit, until like the last 3 minutes of the 7 minutes. Like, I felt like she was giving you bars, kind of like, you know, low-key kind of poking back at Nicki, but just, you know, using her name, basically. But then the last, it was just like, all right, now it's time to drop facts. You know what I mean? And she's talking about who she was fucking. So she said she cheated on Meek with Ebro. That's gotta suck. You got cheated on with Ebro.
Ebro, bro.
I mean, that shit, no disrespect to Ebro, but Ebro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She started saying all this shit about her fucking Wayne, fucking her way to the top, like calling all
She
kind
had a
of
bar.
hoes.
What did she say? She said,
She was talking about her ass deflating and shit.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
had to take like 3 months off.
What
Meek
did
ain't
she
getting
say?
none.
It was a bar that I read, and I was like, whoa, something. It ended with Captain of the Cum Squad. I was like, oh, all right. I can't remember the line that she said, but it was heavy.
It was definitely heavy, but I feel like she put too much into that first, and now you're either going to repeat something you said, or you have some shit stashed away. Now, if she knew the war she's getting into, she got something stashed away. But out of everything that she dropped, what else could she possibly
I feel like
have?
she got something stashed away because if this is stimulating from her being in jail, then she set on this for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like she got some in the bag just waiting. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, even though we feel like she let a lot out right now that was hard, I wouldn't be surprised if she come out with something even harder where you're like, oh shit. Like, let's say hypothetically Nicki doesn't respond. And then Remy puts out another one and it's even heavier than the first one. Then it's going to be like, all right, Nicki, you have to at this point. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts.
If Nicki allows Remy to drop another record, then this can get bad.
Yeah.
Because like I said, she's gonna keep, when they hear good bars, they're gonna get distracted. Because that's what happened with Joe Budden and Drake. When Joe Budden put out his shit, when he put out Making a Murderer, niggas was like, oh shit, Joey is back. But then it's like, oh wait, it's Joe Budden. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So in Remy's case, Remy's getting bread. You know, it may or may not be Nicki Minaj bread, but Remy's getting bread now that she's out. If she drops another record, people are going to be too used to just malicious bars. You know what I mean? So at this point, Nicki has to respond.
Yeah.
But,
I think she does. I'm just saying, I think that Remy is sitting on some shit.
And I hope she's sitting on some shit. And I'm glad you brought that up because I almost lost that point that I wanted to bring to you, saying that if she is sitting on something and it's been stewing since she's been in prison, remember when everybody was giving Drake grief? Because they was like, you had this shit ready for Meek. You know what I'm saying? Like you had this shit before Meek even said anything. And everybody was giving Drake shit about that. If she's been deliberately taking shots at Nicki and it's been stewing since prison, why did she deny it all the way up until Nicki finally said something? Like, in a sense, that's almost instigating your own problem.
No, because the way I look at it is, you know what? I got some shit on you. You know what I mean? I don't really rock with you like that, but you ain't did nothing intentionally that I know of malicious to me, so I'm going to let shit rock. But the minute you do, nigga, we got a problem. I think that's the mentality she probably has about it. You know
I understand being prepared. Like, there's definitely nothing wrong with being prepared. But if we're going off of just timeline purposes, if this all began with Nicki saying all these bitches is my sons, and this is just hearsay, I don't want to act like, you know, this was an official publication. This was off of just one of them hip hop sites that I saw. But it makes the most sense of what's going on. But if this is stemming from that, then you've had legitimate years of preparation. So if Nicki never said anything in the track with Gucci, well, we just kept seeing little poke shots?
No, it probably would have went away. But who's to say that Nicki didn't know who's to say that Nicki knew what she was doing and didn't have shit waiting as well? Just because we haven't seen a diss from Nicki just yet doesn't mean that she couldn't have had that in the back of her mind. Like, yo, when Remy get out, I may or may not have an issue. You know what I mean? I think you would be stupid to believe that.
Honestly, I think every rapper has something prepared for somebody else.
Me too. That's how I would go.
And not in the sense of, you know, we got a problem. It's just like, just in case we get a problem,
exactly.
I'm ready.
And by all means, I don't rap. I love music. Music, literally, what did that Mims Cat music saved my life?
Oh, music is my savior?
Yeah, whatever that shit is, that's
Why do I know that?
Yeah. but music really has done something for me. I think it's one of those universal language no matter where you're from. I don't know anybody that say that they don't like music. And if you do, you're alien, get the fuck away from me. But I think for me personally, I've tried rapping at one point as a youth. Was terrible at it. I think I'm be better at making beats. But if I'm a rapper in today's age, I got something for everybody.
And that's what I'm saying. That mentality, that logic, I'm all for it. I completely understand. I think every artist should have something ready for somebody. Even if it's your closest nigga, you should have something ready for somebody. What I'm saying is, it almost seems like, if it is the case, she's been making this blueprint for a minute. So there's preparation, and then there's battle plans. You know what I mean? And it's just starting to seem like Remy had battle plans.
Hey, and if she did, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I have nothing against you. Like, yo, we going to war. That's a street mentality for me. I have no ill will towards that. I think that's how shit should be. If you feel like you got an issue with somebody, get your shit in a row, and then go handle business. Otherwise, you'll end up looking like meat.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not necessarily against it, but what I am, and let me make sure I say this before I say the other part. I think she went the fuck off in the record. You know what I'm saying? I think she hit every possible low blow she could hit. For this to be a legit first attack and not just a subliminal like what Nicki did, this was a solid fucking headshot for sure. But on the flip side of that, what was the point of playing, what? I'm not talking about Nicki. I'm not talking about Nicki. And then starting off the record by saying, bitch, I told you I wasn't talking about you.
For that reason. You just kind of answered your own question. She's
if
in that
we
sense, like,
all
I'm not talking
know
about you.
that if we all know who she's talking about,
right now we do. But beforehand,
you
know, like you said, it was all hearsay. It was. I mean, if you're a hip hop head, you're probably like, yeah, she probably taking shots. But as an individual, if you tell me something, I can only go by what you physically told me until it's proven otherwise. You know what I mean? If you tell me you didn't kill,
talking about in hip hop.
I'm talking about in general. In general, if you told me that you didn't go rob this store, I have to believe you didn't go rob this store until it comes out that you truly did rob this store, because you know what I mean. I'm taking your words as face value. So with her saying that she wasn't dissing her when she was at a Funk Flex freestyle that she was on. Was that a Funk Flex?
Yeah, but it was some shit before that too. It was
well, just the recent shit. Because when I heard the freestyle, I was like, she may or may not be, but she said that she wasn't, so I have to take that at face value. When Nicki followed up with what she said, now Remy is like, nah, I told you I wasn't talking about you, but since you want to go there, let's go there.
Okay, very true. But by that exact logic, she didn't mention Remy's name.
Okay, but
no one asked her, are you talking about Remy? Remy didn't ask her, are you talking about Remy?
Because I think
she was ready.
But you get to a point where you know when somebody's talking about you. And if you look at young
exactly, that's the point I just made.
But you're right. You get to a point where you know if somebody's talking about you. If you hear something about me and you're like, you know what, I think Kev talking about, but you ask me, yo, is you talking about me? And I tell you no. The fact that I told you no, it wasn't no hearsay shit. You got to take that for what it is. I think with Nicki, mind you, they're all in the same camp. They do that subliminal. How many times have we heard Drake take subliminal shots at Jay? We've heard Wayne take shots at Jay. Wayne's a little bit more out there. He'll say that he's taking a shot at Jay. But,
right.
you know, within that camp, it's a lot of subliminal shit that goes on. So when Nicki came out with her shit, it could have been some subliminal shit, but she knew exactly who she was talking about. You know what I mean? I just feel right now, Nicki has to come out, and she has to come out swinging. And just like Remy was hitting low blows, I wouldn't be surprised Nicki come out and talk about that miscarriage.
That's what I'm saying.
And then it goes from there. And I'm
here
for it.
You know what, though? Funny thing is, she's not going to talk about the miscarriage. The only reason she's not is because that's a very personal thing.
Fuck
with
all
women.
that shit.
No, trust me. I understand that. Like, nigga, I skeeted in your baby seat. For niggas, there's nothing off limits.
Exactly.
But there is certain stuff with women that they won't cross. Even though Remy crossed. Remy hop, skipped, and jumped over that shit. Because of Nicki Minaj's following, she can't say something about motherfuckers losing their baby. She can't say something about gay people, or, you know, she can't do none of that shit because her following are people that experience those kind of things. So she's not gonna fuck up her bread just to hit a low blow. Now, I think Nicki got some shit stewing. I feel like she do got something in the bag, because if they were close, because from what I was reading, they were cool. If they were that close, she know just as much as Remy, and I'm here for that shit. I definitely want to see that shit. But I don't think she's gonna be able to tap into the miscarriage.
Fuck that. I want all that shit.
I don't think it's coming, bro.
I want all that shit.
Honestly,
get grimy, get nasty, talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Maybe again, that's just me. When I'm in it with somebody, I'm disrespectful because, number one, I like to fight. So I'm saying disrespectful shit in hopes that you want to fight so I can beat you up. But that's just me. But I understand what you're saying though. As women, I guess their shit is a little bit different.
It's a different wiring, because if that was the case, with all the shit that Kim was saying. Why didn't she bring up Kim's miscarriage? Why didn't she bring up Kim's abortion? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a bunch of shit she could have went in on Kim with.
You're right. There's a ton of shit she could have went in on Kim, but I think Kim was definitely. I mean, Kim looks like an Asian woman now. She, you know what I mean? I think when that whole thing was popping off, it would have been a lost cause to go at. You know what I mean? To go at Kim. She was.
But she went at Kim. She
did go at Kim. But I think that was more so. Okay, look, you're running your mouth. Go sit your ass in the corner type of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
she thought she was going to get the same thing off of Remy.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's Kim. But Remy's a different animal.
Yeah, she is a different beast.
She's a different animal, and I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it.
I want to hear the back and forth.
I hope this turns into even more beef. And then that turns into more beef. And everybody is beefing, and we get back to music again instead of this shit that we hearing on the radio now.
And if it turns into more beef, we got to bring back one night only the Source Awards. We got to. Because that's the only place it could fucking happen, bruh.
Source Awards 2018. I am here for it.
That shit would be lit. That shit would be lit, even though we know Chris Brown and Soulja Boy ain't going to be fighting in it. But
yeah, I did hear about that.
That is so fucking whack. We'll get to that. It's interesting because, one, the status that everyone's going to be seeing as the way of a W. And it's also interesting that you have two people who can actually lyrically match up against each other. So do cats really, I know me and you want to see something long distance, but do cats really want to see something long distance, or are they just waiting for Nicki to respond and then be like, Nicki won?
No, I don't think that. I think before it dies out, they're probably going to get about maybe three diss songs apiece. And that depends. And I'm saying 3 only if the first 2 are successful. If you got a shitty one, they don't want to hear that third one.
I don't think it's going to be 3. I think we're past the days of multiple diss tracks. You know what I mean? Like when you had Ja versus Aftermath, basically. You know what I mean? Eminem kept responding to what Ja was saying. And the only reason he got in it is because Ja was like, you know what I'm saying, your mama a dope fiend, your girl's a known slut, you know, saying the shit about Haley. That's what they just kept going back and forth. Nowadays, I think the last person to actually give somebody multiple songs like that was Drake. And that's only because he realized the chink in Meek's armor. He realized you jumped into something with no preparation. Now I'm about to just destroy you. So by the time you hit me back with something, and Drake knew he was going to hit him back with something with some bars in it. But by the time you do it, there's nothing you could say because I'm already here. Eat this. Yeah, now eat this.
I get what
now
you're saying.
Eat this.
I
You
get
know
what
what
you're
I'm
saying. But I think with that,
I don't think niggas got the stamina to go back and forth anymore, is what I'm ultimately trying to say.
I think they have the stamina for it. I think they just don't have the mindset for it. You know what I mean? I feel like they look at it as like a what's the point thing. You know what I mean? But in this case, I'm hoping, but in this case, I do see that, you know, I see Nicki responding, and I see Remy responding to that. Now, depending on how Remy's response is going to determine the trajectory of this. If her shit is trash, Nicki don't even have to put out another one. She can let that status carry her. Right. You know what I mean? But I do see, I see a couple songs from each. And like I said, if any one of those drop a terrible diss, then the other one, you know, is going to get that edge and may get the win in this case. Do I see it end up being like a long, drawn-out thing? Absolutely not. Nah. But I do see a couple of songs from each.
Honestly, dude, I don't see it making it to the summer. Just being
completely
honest.
No, it's not gonna make it to the summer.
And I don't see Nicki. She gave her a verse. I don't see Nicki going further than one song.
I think 2. I think at least 2.
I don't see it going further than one song, based off of the fact that status wins battles now.
Dude, the reason
she's gonna make one track, because think about it. Even in the verse, the verse that she had towards Remy was all status.
It was.
She didn't even get into the meat of the situation.
It was.
She went straight flashy. She went braggadocious. Now her response, her record is going to be, all right, now I'm coming for your jugular. You know what I mean?
I think, and again, this is just me being me, but I think Nicki does go at her disrespectfully. And that's what brews the more fuel to the fire. I think she goes at her disrespectfully just to try to end it completely.
Yeah, she's trying to go for the KO.
You know what I mean?
Point. But at this point, she has to.
Yeah, she has to. I think she goes for it. Yeah, I think she goes for it, and it don't knock her out. And Remy comes back heavy. You know what I mean? And then it goes from there. I do not see it going towards the summer. I don't see it. It probably got about another week and a half at this.
Nah.
I said at best, and I'm not talking about how it was today, how it was all over. I'm talking about we got a week and a half to where in 3 days somebody may, hey, remember this? but that's about it. I don't see it getting something like huge. You know what I mean?
If we get a track from Nicki tomorrow, so when y'all listening to it, if we get a track from Nicki tomorrow, then she's taking the Drake route. She has something ready right now.
Yeah, when you wake up, you check your TL and you see some shit popping out. That's what happened to me. I seen it on TL, but
right.
If you see some shit, then we could be interested. I just hope that it turns to something bigger to where other individuals are involved. I just want to hear bars.
Who else want to? First of all,
nobody.
I'm gonna say, because
really,
if you go through the list of Young Money, Cash Money, Wayne has been notorious for shit diss records. Drake is a flashy disser. He's witty. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like cool, but at the same time, no one wants to hear Drake versus Papoose.
No, hell no. Nobody wants to hear that.
And to be completely honest, can we say Papoose would eat Drake?
Lyrically, yes.
Yeah,
status, on a status symbol.
Well, no, of course not on status, but status is gonna win either way.
But you're talking about that's what I'm saying. With Drake and Papoose thing, that shit wouldn't transpire because of the status. It's too big of a margin.
Right.
It's way too big. It's even a bigger margin than Joe and Drake. It's too big of a margin. But I think if they were to be like bars, I think because Papoose would do that. But Papoose literally is a battle rapper. That's why he sucks at making records, because he's a battle rapper.
Right.
So,
but that was one of the main things I was actually talking about. Like, he would have to tap into that battle aspect, but battling is a completely different cadence from making a record.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have to, you legitimately have to take what happened with Meek into perspective when you're trying to come at Drake. Papoose ain't gonna be able to make a record that's going to live with Drake. He has to make a record that's going to destroy Drake.
Yeah, but even in this one, I don't see the type of artist that Papoose is. I don't even see him touching on, because he's uber confident in his wife. Which she should be.
If and when Drake says something, he's going to come at him.
Yeah, he's going to come out if it comes down to it. If it gets too out of line, then he'll say something. But I don't even think he'll make a record. It'll be one of those, I'm going here, freestyle some shit, and be cool. But when you look at the Young Money camp, those three, Nicki's probably the only one with battle rap type bars.
Yeah.
When you think about it. Like you said, Wayne can't make a diss track.
He's tried.
Drake, this is like you said, it's flashy and it's more of a song. You know what I mean? Because what was it? Not the Charge of Drum. One came second. The back-to-back. It was actually getting radio play.
Bro, it was getting spent in clubs that Meek was at.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So it was more of a song than it was it was a song with the diss elements. I think Nicki is the only one that can come out. No, this is a for sure diss. This ain't no song. This ain't something you put in rotation. This is something you want to hear somebody get their ass body.
I think Nicki got low key. I'm not saying something as good, so please definitely hear that for sure. I'm not saying it's something that's good, but I think Nicki got something of hit 'em up caliber.
Really?
Prepared. And the only reason I say that is because if she's going off of the Drake blueprint, she knows she has to make a record that's going to pop back to back, pop, hit 'em up, popped. Now, what I'm saying where she has something of hit 'em up caliber is Nicki has those bars the same way Pac had those bars. So now imagine a club record with just disemboweling bars. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's going to be to the level, better, or even close to what Hit 'Em Up was. So please understand, I'm not saying that. But I think that's what she has. She has something like that in the chamber because she saw Drake do it. So now it's like, okay, now I can do it.
And this is not to go too far off subject, because of course Hit 'Em Up was brought up because of course the TOs are talking about beef. Now, as a diss track, Hit 'Em Up definitely did what the fuck it was supposed to do.
Hit 'Em Up was the greatest diss track ever recorded.
The only reason I have an issue with that statement is because Pac only gave you one verse. It's a long verse, but he only gave you one verse, and he let his trash ass homeboys rap the rest, and them niggas was awful.
You know what? He even said that in the song. He said, I'm gonna let my little homies rap and bitch make motherfuckers.
Right, and they were awful. Now, for what the disrespectfulness in that, I love it.
Hussein Fatal had a good verse. What are you talking about?
No.
Hussein Fatal had a decent verse.
No, I think the rest of them messed up that song. So for me, Hit 'Em Up, yes, it's definitely top 5 diss tracks of all of it, but that one got the little asterisks by it for me because of the elements outside of Pac. Pac's verses, how he came into the song, how he ended the song with the shit talking about all means, I love it. But the other guy, no, he could have left him out. That's just for me. But I see what you're saying with Nicki having that type of caliber bars. I don't know, man. I think with that camp, they are so big on status and so big on making music that they don't necessarily know how to go into battles. Like for me, when at one point when it was little cheap shots between Wayne and 50. Or even Wayne and Jay. To me, I was looking at it as Wayne has never really been in a battle like that, so how is he going to approach someone that has? You know what I mean? It's like stepping in a ring with a boxer that's been boxing for 3 years. You may know how to street fight, but this nigga he's professionally trained to kick your ass.
Rest in peace, Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to work. So I look at that camp in the same limelight. You know what I mean? You got somebody that's brought up from a battle rapping or maybe heavily involved in battle rapping, and you're trying to go at them on that level. It don't work. Only reason it does work in your case is because of that status.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it wasn't for that status, then if there was no social media today, everything else in the world was the same, but there was no social media, this wouldn't even be a topic of discussion because we would have been like Remy body hair no matter what she says. Social media is what's keeping Nicki afloat to me.
The only reason I disagree with that is strictly based off of numbers don't lie. Even if social media didn't even if social media didn't exist, you can still pull Nicki's numbers. So whether it was conversation via social media or conversation via me and you right here,
right.
niggas are going to throw the numbers out there. Now, I'm not one to throw numbers out there because I don't believe in statistics beating out bars in a battle.
Uh-huh.
If it's a battle, it's verbal.
Right.
No, nothing more, nothing less.
Now, I agree with you on that, but think about this. How much of those numbers came from the fact that there is social media around?
True.
Think about it that way, you know what I mean? Because there's been plenty of times where I've heard a song maybe from a new artist or something like that. I heard it on Spotify or SoundCloud or something like that. I'm like, oh, let me go check out their music. And if I go like their music and I buy something, you know what I mean? I probably wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for social media.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Would this song be as talked about right now if it wasn't for social media?
What song?
Sheether.
I think so.
I don't know.
I think
because...
so. I think so for two reasons. Number one, because she's over a classic diss track beat. Mm-hmm. Number two, because it's whether we have social media or not, we will still be able to hear Nicki music and see how big she is, and it's music going at somebody that's big. So I think it would get that much buzz. We probably wouldn't be able to see the jokes behind it. That's
what I'm saying. 'Cause I think it's the jokes that are carrying it, because I've been seeing people say that Remy bodied her, and I've been seeing people post the memes and the obituary and everything like that. But as far as the song being shared, I haven't seen it that much. Now I know it's being shared. I know it's circulating like a motherfucker. I'm just talking about my actual timeline.
Okay.
There's more conversation about it than the actual song itself being shared.
So yeah, I got conversation about like the memes and the obituaries and stuff like that, but I've also seen people quote bars. I've also seen that, you know what I mean? And somebody be like, oh, where is this coming from? Somebody that maybe didn't know what was going on today, earlier in the day. And they, let me get the link. Let me go listen to it. I have seen that. I don't know. It's interesting times with this shit, man.
I love it.
I love it. I love it. And it's funny because we got something interesting, and this is from female rappers. Like, they're the ones that are carrying shit. Black Girl Magic again. You know what I mean? Like, the dudes
people are more interested in this battle with one diss song than they were with Drake and Meek Mill.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And this is what I live for in hip hop, because I think. And again, I don't want to sound like I'm this violent individual or
you don't want to sound like it. Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I don't want to sound like that, but I'm all for competition.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And I feel like of course, I don't want nobody to get hurt behind this. I don't want to see anybody hurt.
Right.
But I'm there for the competition. My motto is, and I say this to my homeboys. I got homeboys that I play ball with, and before we get to the game, before we even play, we buddy. That's my issue. You got an issue with him. You got an issue with me. The minute we get on the court and we're on opposite teams, it's fuck you until this game is over. That's my mindset when I'm doing a lot of these things, and that's how I look at this situation. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about competition. It's basically how Kendrick versus the Control joint. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, we can be boys, but when it comes to this shit right here, I'm coming at you.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? That's my mentality with it, and that's how I look at this competition. Like, granted, there's some bad blood in that case, you know what I mean? But it's all about competition, and that's what I love it.
And that's one of the best things when it comes to battle. Like, you can have clever bars all day, but nothing wins a battle like truth.
Exactly.
Nothing wins a battle like
undeniable truth.
Undeniable truth, that researchable truth. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wins a battle like truth. And that's why I think we're going to get some interesting. I'll give it 2 songs. I'll give it 2 songs from Nicki Minaj. I think we're going to see interesting back and forth, but I don't think it's going to go that long because it seems like they're really throwing everything into they're both going for the headshot at this point.
One thing, and I'm probably going to get some flack for this. Oh, well, women, as most men know, are emotional-based creatures. So I think with this battle, they can't not have that emotion in it. So yes, they're going to put everything in it to where it's going to gas each other out. You know what I mean? Regardless on if we say one person won or not, eventually this shit's going to die out because they put so much emotion in it that they really ain't got nothing else to talk about.
And it becomes something where you're like, it's not even emotional to the point where, you know, you're just in your feelings about something. It's emotional, like, okay, because you know, we've seen females will be cats. They'll be catty with each other. It's to the point now where like, all right, now we're being catty, and we both got a fan base. Let's see who really about to do. Let's see who really dominate this.
Let's see who really dominated. And Nicki, if you're smart, you better come hard and stay away. Remy will shoot you.
I'm about to say, once you get past the bars, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I mean? One thing I do want to say on this, and then I think you say you want to talk about something else. And it just has another caveat on top of this. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm here for pure entertainment.
Music. Hell yeah.
You know, I know that there's a lot of not necessarily defense, but there's a lot of devil's advocate that I've been playing when it comes to Nicki Minaj. But I mean, shit, Remy, that was a headshot of a record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was truly a headshot of a record.
Yeah, she walked up and snuffed her.
And straight snuffed her. Now, when I'm saying that, I say this. Why is it that as soon as somebody comes after the big wig, as soon as somebody comes after the big name in the game, everybody just gasses up and goes crazy? Like, why is it that a lot of people want to see some of the bigger niggas fail? Like, I talk a lot of shit about Drake. I know I do, you know, and I still stick by everything I say. I'm a fan of mixtape Drake. I'm a fan of the shit he raps, but he even came out in that interview and said recently, like, I want to make pop records. I'm not a fan of his pop records, but I don't want to see the nigga lose.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see the nigga fail and fall out of hip hop and anything like that. I'm not understanding that when these big names get attacked, why do people want to see them just fail? Why they be like, this is it. This is the headshot. She's out of here. He's out of here. You know what I'm saying? Why do people want that?
I don't necessarily think people want that. I think you got those people who aren't fans that want to see him fall for grace a little bit. But I think a lot of it is we live in an age where everything is trolling. So I think a lot of it is, you know what? If let's say Twitter, for example, you got your Twitter page and you got a few thousand followers, and you say something that is in the same light as having Nicki fail, it gets those hits, which it can probably prompt Nicki to actually do something. I think they're more instigators than anything.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. But like you said, I wouldn't want to see anybody fail. I talk shit about Drake. You know, I talk shit about a lot of artists,
right?
But I don't want to see him not eat. You know what I mean? I don't want to see him not be able to support their family, not be able to do something that they love.
Right.
I say this when I go to the gym with my boys. We see people in there who should not be on the basketball court at all, but they love the sport, and I respect them for that. I'm not going to play with you, but I respect you.
You're not
for
gonna pick them on my team,
right? I respect you for having that passion and wanting to play. I'm not going to ever knock anybody for that. You know what I mean? So with Nicki, with Drake, with anybody, by all means, make that money, handle your shit.
Definitely.
But I think with most people, they just like to instigate the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They try to make it bigger for not only their benefit, but for the hopes that we get some music.
Yeah. I mean, with this whole situation, Nicki, man, you're going to have to come back with something because if you don't, this is going to be a problem for you. Because Remy has fired off a hell of a shot. She fired off a cannon.
Yeah.
If you don't come back, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it.
Yeah, she got to come back, and she got to come back hard. And if she don't come back, I think Remy gives her one more, and that'll be that.
Yeah, because I think
Remy got at least one. She got at least one.
Remy got one more in the chamber for sure.
Yeah.
But like I said, my biggest fear with it, and this is my fear, as in the actual beef going stale, not it knocking Nicki out. My fear with it going stale is that I don't want Remy to have put everything into Sheether.
Right, I get what you're saying.
And not even of all of Sheether, in the second half of Sheether.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because she put a lot out there.
She did.
She put a lot out there, and I'm praying that if we're gonna get some, dare I say, some of the best battle bars we've gotten in some time, back and forth between these two. If we're gonna get that, I just hope you didn't use up all your ammunition in the first one.
I would think she's smarter than that. You know what I mean? Then you got to look at. I mean, we touched on Nicki's background with who she rocks with, but we got to realize who Remy rocks with. Fat Joe and 50 was going at it. Fat Joe and other people. Fat Joe's been around for a long time. You know what I mean? Granted, Papoose doesn't make music like that, but I mean, he's a battle rapper. You know what I mean? We got to give Remy a little bit more credit on where she come from, who's behind her in this sense, to give her some wisdom on the game on how to do this if you're going to go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? It's like she got big homies who know what they're doing when it comes to it. So I have to take that in consideration in hopes that she didn't put everything out there. But it'll be interesting. It's going to be fun, whatever it is.
As far as how to conduct a battle, I think the only person that's in her camp that's really, you know what I'm saying, going to give her some gems would be Papoose. I fuck with Fat Joe.
Yeah, no. I was just using those two as an example because those are the first two people that you think of.
Yeah.
But just, she can have other affiliates that she know of.
I'm pretty sure.
Like
yeah,
other friends.
Yeah,
but yeah, those are the first people I was thinking of.
Yeah, because I fuck with Fat Joe, but boy, he was biting off more than he could chew when he was going, going at 50.
A lot of people were. But, yeah, I hoping for some good music to come out of this.
I just want to hear some good music, some good battles. I want some good conversation pieces.
Exactly. And the shit is funny, man.
What's something else you said you want to talk about?
I can't remember.
Shit, it was something we said we was going to get to.
I really can't remember.
Oh, okay, now I remember. It was the Chris Brown Soulja Boy fight.
Yes, that's what it was.
Exactly what it was. You know, we're already, you know, pretty far into this episode, so I mean, we could just touch on this and get off it. I feel so fucking stupid giving this shit so much attention. We all like, Chris gonna do it. Chris gonna knock his ass out. And then Chris called the shit off. And then the nigga caught a case.
That's probably why he called the shit off.
God damn,
I think that case was something that happened right around the same time. And he was like, yo, if I caught this case, got this restraining order, because she could have had the restraining order, and then it came out later on that, you know, she had one on him. But he could have had that restraining order when he was about to fight him, and then realized, okay, if I go fight this boy, and we seen this social media feud, this isn't going to help my case at all. So I think that's why he called it off. Or somebody probably was like, yo, Chris, don't do this shit. You know what I mean? What makes me think about stuff like this is I'm a fan of Chris Brown's music. I can separate the artist from the person, so I'm definitely a fan of his music. But what makes me wonder with this guy is, where is his mother? If I was doing half the shit Chris Brown was doing, my mother would be like, boy, what the fuck wrong with you?
His mom is sitting back, counting bread. His mom ain't say shit when he socked up Rihanna. Some mom ain't say shit when he destroyed Good Morning America.
Yeah, I would.
She's sitting back, counting bread.
See, and that's funny. My mother would have been doing the same thing, but my mother would be like, boy, if you don't cut this shit out, we gonna have an issue.
It's the same thing with me. My mom, she'd have got to me early.
Yeah.
Anybody in my family would have got to me early.
And this is what makes me think, like, where is your big homie? But now I realize that's what's going on with a lot of the people in the youth, even though me and CB is literally the same age, same birthday, same everything. A lot of the younger guys, they don't have no big homies.
True.
You know what I mean? To pull them aside
Well,
and be
he
like,
got all the bloods, like all of them. You saw that initiation video.
I wasn't talking about him specifically.
Yeah,
because
I feel you. I just fuck with you.
I'm just saying, they don't have nobody to be like, hey, yo, man, let's not do this. You know what I mean? But you're right. I feel stupid for hyping that fight. I wanted to see it.
Bruh, I swear. And here's the thing. I feel stupid for hyping the fight, but I feel like we had damn good reason. We saw an interview with Soulja Boy and Floyd Mayweather.
Bruh,
we heard a phone call between Mike Tyson and 50 Cent.
Bro, when the fight got caught up, it made the news.
Exactly.
So you were absolutely right. We did have good reason to hype it up.
And another reason why I'm kind of pissed off about it, again, I knew the fight was going to be shit. I knew the fight was going to be just trash all the way, garbage, if you will.
It's French.
But the fact that it was a charitable event. It was a charitable event that was going to make a shit ton of money.
Yes, it would have.
You know, out of all the celebrity boxing matches, this would have been the one that people would have been like, all right, I'm cashing out for this event. Let you know, say I'm going to this event. I feel like some charity just lost a shit ton of money because of Chris Brown backing out.
This is very possible.
To me, that's not fair, because it was a lot of attention put into this, and you know, shit. The first episode, I'm giving accolades to Yachty. This episode, I'm about to give accolades to fucking Soulja Boy. But Soulja Boy tried to end it first.
You're right. He did. You're right.
And then Chris Brown didn't let that shit go.
You're right.
Now Chris Brown. Now that Chris Brown says it's over, all of a sudden it's over.
Well, he's a bigger celebrity, so absolutely.
Of course.
but with the whole charity thing, look at it this way. Yes, a charity is losing out. You know what I mean? And that's not right. But whose fault is that? That's not Chris Brown or Soulja Boy's fault.
Yeah, neither, definitely.
They didn't instigate the situation.
Right.
To make it be a fight like that. You know, that's to everybody around it. Like, we can do this fight. It can be for charity. So they should be the ones at fault for the charity missing out. You know what I mean? But I agree with you, man. I truly wanted to see something.
Right. I wanted to see something come from it. Just because of all the hype that was built up. They fucked with our card. So now the you know what I'm saying, the money team rumble is over. Damn, they done fucked up our main event.
They did.
They fucking up the church's money. Kev, good sir. Where can they find you at?
Y'all can find me _Hollywood Kev. That's where I'm at. I got to get back on my Twitter. I ain't been on there. I've been out of it this week, but that's where you guys can find me. Also on Instagram, I'm gonna try to be more visual. So yeah, Instagram, same thing, _Hollywood Kev. That's where I be. At
Big Los UTC. You can also find me on Facebook. Another thing I kind of want to pub real quick. Wilberforce University, my alma mater, is doing the Retool Your School Challenge with Home Depot. So what I need y'all to do, I need y'all to go to the Retool Your School website, vote Wilberforce University on your Twitter, on your Instagram, on your Facebook, hashtag Wilberforce _RYS17. Get that going. We definitely appreciate the votes, man. It's money that's going towards so much improvement to the school. So this is something I'm really getting behind. It's something I'm really trying to back. Retool your school, Wilberforce University, man. Let's get that thing going. Follow the B page. Definitely pay attention to the B page because there's a lot of things coming. March is right around the corner. Man, I'm excited for what we got coming up, bro.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. There's a lot of great content about to be on the way. May, you know what I'm saying, might be getting another show. We'll see what happens. You know, we'll see what goes on. But, yeah, man, definitely we appreciate you guys rocking with us. We thank you to the listeners, to the supporters.
All of you.
Every single one of you, and you. Thank you. We definitely appreciate it. And as always, it's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
It's the Noize.